To start off, I'm going to be doing number 1. So we can clearly see that the first thing we have to do is factor the denominator. So we're just going to do that really quick. And we are going to be left with 1 over negative 3 times x plus 2 times x minus 1. Okay. So now we are going to find our zeros, and we know that to find our zeros is in the numerator. So if we were to set this equal to 0, we can clearly see that that's not true. So we have none. Now for our vertical asymptote, we know that we have to set the denominator equal to 0, leaving us with an x of negative 2 and an x of 1. Now for our horizontal asymptote, we need to look at the degrees in the numerator and the denominator. And because the degree in the numerator is smaller than the one in the denominator, we know that the horizontal asymptote is going to be y equals 0. And now for our oblique asymptote, we can see that because the degree in the numerator is not greater than the one in the denominator, there's not going to be one. So we just put none. Now we just need to find our domain. So we just need to draw like a quick sketch of the graph. So we know we don't have any zeros, so we're just going to get right into drawing the vertical asymptotes and the horizontal asymptotes. So we know that there's a vertical asymptote at negative 2. So we'll put that one somewhere around here. And this is x equals negative 2. And then we have another one at x equals 1. So we'll draw this one around here. And this one we're going to label as x equals 1. And now our horizontal asymptote, which is just straight across. And this one is y equals 0. So now once we plug it into the graph like so, and we graph it, we can see that this is what our graph should look like. So we're just going to draw this out really quick. So we know we have one going like this, never passing the asymptote lines, and one right here, and then the one in the middle. That's somewhat similar. So now we just need to find the domain, and we can see that the domain goes from negative infinity to negative 2, and then picks back up again at negative 2 to 1, ends, and then it starts again at 1 to infinity. That's it. For my last problem, I'm going to be doing number 2. So to start off, we are going to factor out the problem, and once we factor it, we're going to be left with x times x minus 2 times x minus 1. And this is going to be over 4x x plus 1. So let's find the zeros. The zeros are always in the numerator, so we're just going to set this equal to 0. And we are going to be left with zeros at 2, 0, and another one at 1, 0. And now for our vertical asymptote, we are just going to set the denominator equal to 0. And we are left with x equals negative 1. And now for our horizontal asymptote, because the degree in the numerator is higher than the one in the denominator, there is not going to be one, so we're just going to put none. And for our oblique asymptote, because the numerator has a higher degree than the denominator, there will be one. So I've just put it on the side here. To find it, we need to do our long division. So 4x squared goes into x to the third. 1 1/4 x times. So we're just going to do x to the third plus 1x squared. And then when we distribute our negative, this one will cancel out. This one will turn into a negative, leaving us with negative 4x squared plus 2x. And we still continue because the degrees are the same. So this goes in negative 1 times. And we don't really need to continue here because that's just going to leave us with a remainder, and we don't need a remainder for this type of problem. So we know that our oblique asymptote is going to be y equals 1/4 x minus 1. Okay, and now to find our domain. So we're just going to do a quick sketch of the graph. So we know to start off that we have zeros at both 1 and at 2. And these are points we have here. And then we know we have a vertical asymptote at negative 1. So we'll just draw this around here. And this is x equals negative 1. And we know we have an oblique asymptote at 1/4 x minus 1. So this is just going to look something like this. It drops down a little bit. And it should be somewhere around here. Like that. And then we're going to label this, and this is y equals 1/4 x minus 1. Okay, and now once we do that, we're just going to put it into the calculator, which I've already gone ahead and done. And we're just going to graph it, and this is what our graph should look like. And if we imagine that we have our asymptote line going from here to here, it makes sense. So like always, it's not going to cross the lines. It's going to go down from here, not going through the 0, going through the 1 and the 2, and back up against those lines, and then like that. Oh, I almost forgot the arrow here. Yep. So now to find the domain, you can see that the domain goes from negative infinity to a negative 1, ends there. It picks back up again and goes from negative 1 to 0, ends there, picks back up again from 0 to infinity. And that is all.